Hi folks, how you doing? It's James, JT at the movies, out in public for once, and I'm actually at the movies. So I'm here with Laura, who's behind the camera.
Hello.
We're coming to see the 30th anniversary showing of Total Recall. It's actually the 31st anniversary now, but obviously last year don't count. Yeah, really excited to see this one again, guys. I'm filming in an actual cinema. Shh. Laura, are you excited to see this one on big screen?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Absolutely. Well, we'll see you after film now. Won't push me luck too much. So, we're back out of the cinema, and we've just been to see 1990's Total Recall for its 30th anniversary showing. Obviously, it's technically, like I said earlier, 31 years, because last year just doesn't count, does it, at all? The Studio Canal did celebrate the 30th anniversary of Total Recall last year with a fantastic 4K restoration that came out for the first time on 4K Blu-ray. For anyone who's had the original Studio Canal, sort of, I think 2010, maybe 2011 Blu-ray that they did, will know that the picture quality wasn't that much better than the DVD that we've all had for years. But this recent 4K has been a real step up from what we've had for years gone by. And it was the 4K restoration that they've just shown in the cinemas there, and it looked so good on the big screen, didn't it?
It really did.
And it's absolutely fantastic. Me and Laura had a great time with it, smiling all the way through. All of Arnie's one-liners, the story, the settings. Do you know what? I'm going to give them credit for the practical effects, because I don't think that this film gets talked about as much as maybe some other films do in terms of how well their effects have held up, 3 decades later.
Yeah.
But we've just watched that on a big IMAX screen in 4K, and really there were only a couple of moments in it where the practical effects maybe showed their age, sort of thing. But do you know what? Absolutely fair play to them. They did a really good job. I'm not too sure actually who did the effects for it and all the practical side of things and any visual effects, but if I can, I'll try and put a little title card down here somewhere, because they definitely deserve some credit. Obviously the story is Arnie is playing a chap called Quaid, who is dreaming of Mars and longing to go to Mars, and keeps having dreams of being a secret agent and having this sort of like affair with a girl on Mars. He keeps waking up to the fact that he's just a construction worker. He's married to Sharon Stone. Oh dear. Yeah, he's married to Sharon Stone, and he keeps sort of going, come on, let's go to Mars, let's move to Mars, let's take a holiday to Mars. And she's like, you won't like it, we're not going to Mars, we've just moved here, forget about it. So he learns of Recall, which is a company that can put fake memories of holidays that you've never taken in your head if you can't afford to actually go on a real holiday, and it's for a fraction of the price or whatever. So he goes to do that, and then it uncovers the fact that he's had his memory erased and that he is actually a secret agent from Mars, and the reason he's on Earth where he is and working the job and with the wife that he's with is because he's had his memory erased, because actually he was like a traitor and was about to sort of really help the revolutionary cause on Mars. And it's based on the Philip K. Dick novel, We'll Remember It For You Wholesale, and the big thing throughout the story is it a dream? Or is it actually happening? The first time I watched it, Laura, years and years and years ago with my dad when I was a teenager, I came out of it and went, we watched it on TV one night, and I 100% went, that's real. Yeah, everything that's happened there, none of it's a dream. But then every time I've watched it since, it's not always been the same things, but there's been little things, little nods and winks and setups and things that pay off once you've seen the film dozens of times, and you start to sort of question it. And I sort of every time I come out of it now, I'm a bit like, is it a dream? What's your take on that? Do you think it was a dream, or do you think it actually happened?
I'm not so sure. I'm torn. I think I'm the same as you. When I first watched this, I think I was the same as you. 100%, it's got to be real. But the more times we've watched it together, I'm exactly like you. Is it a dream? Yeah, I'm finding myself questioning myself a lot more now.
Yeah, like the remake wasn't great, but it seemed from memory of it, I've only seen it a couple of times, but the remake was more explicit that maybe it was a dream and sort of, you know, really lent into that a bit more. And I've actually not read the original novel that it's based on. I do know, like I said, that it's a Philip K. Dick adaptation, but along with like Minority Report and Blade Runner, they've all got a similar sort of feel to them, haven't they? But I'm not too sure how heavily the book leans into it, or whether again it's just a sort of a make your own mind up, choose your own adventure. But I love the story. Like once we get to Mars, and he starts interacting with the locals there, and I really like the whole sort of like there's double and triple crosses. Like actually the message in the briefcase that he's left himself earlier in the film, you know, the get your ass to Mars scene. They then show the extended version of that film later on, where it turns out that Cohagen, the film's main villain, has actually put Arnie's previous identity up to doing that, and it is all a set-up to try and get them to reveal the whereabouts of Kawatu, the resistance leader. And then, you know, there's like I said, there's twists, there's turns, you don't know who to trust, and it's just great cheesy fun, isn't it? I really, really love Total Recall.
Funny. I think what I like about this movie is obviously other Arnold films have been a lot more serious action, whereas this one's a perfect mix of action and comedy.
Yeah, it
well.
doesn't take itself too seriously at all, does it?
It's got its corker scenes, like the scene where he's having to pull the tracker out of his nose, and then there's the scene where he's in disguise. He's just got to Mars and he's playing that woman.
Yeah,
and she just repeats the word 2 weeks and
2 weeks.
Starts to do all this weird stuff with her mouth. And it's just so weird.
Yeah, and like I mean, that's one of the scenes where the effects don't really hold up. Is like they've clearly got like a mannequin of Arnie's head that they're taking the mask thing off of, and it's all contorted, and it just really looks like it's been modelled out of, you know, like modelling clay or Play-Doh or something. It's just daft, but I absolutely love this film. It was great to see it in the cinema, wasn't it? The cinema experience was great, and you know, besides having to sort of wear the masks, you know, when in the sort of the communal areas, really didn't feel too many of the sort of the, like, you know, effects of sort of, you know, how everything's been for the last 12 months sort of thing. Not been. It felt like a normal night, I suppose, really is what I'm trying to say. We went and had a bit of tea beforehand, and where we are now, where the cinema is local to us, there's, you know, there's restaurants and there's a gym and a supermarket and all sorts on this complex. We, you know, popped into Five Guys and had burger and chips. I know how to treat a lady, guys. You know, and I had burger and chips for tea, and then popped in the cinema, got a drink and a bag of sweets, and then went and sat and watched the film, and it felt like a normal night, and it really was brilliant.
I loved it, and we could not have picked a better film to return to the cinema with. Yeah,
I thought it was great when I saw that they were putting that on. I didn't even like hesitate. I just says to Laura, says, like, next Tuesday, Laura, we're seeing Total Recall in the cinema. Not, do you want to go and see it, or are we free? Are we doing? No, we're going to see Total Recall in the cinema. Yeah, absolutely love it. This is a film. I mean, I said it's probably my favourite sci-fi film of all time. It topped out my list. If you remember the video I made a couple of months ago of my top 10 favourite sci-fis. Like I say, it topped that list at that point when I ranked them. I absolutely adore this film and had a great time with it. If you can catch it in a cinema and you feel comfortable and safe to do so, I'd recommend it. It really adds to the experience. If not, the fantastic 4K Blu-ray is really worth picking up as well, so get on that. And folks, thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you very much for your comments on the little message I put out about passing 300 subscribers. I'm over the moon and incredibly humbled that I've passed that milestone, and thank you very much for your well wishes about getting well. We were full of quite a grim cold last week, the pair of us, and I didn't have the energy. I managed to work from home, managed to find the energy to do my day job, but then in the evenings it was very much just like, you know, Beecham's Cold and Flu or Lemsips or whatever, and then wrapped up in front of the TV recuperating. But thank you very much for your well wishes. We're both back to fighting fit, and there'll be plenty more videos to come from me because of that. So if you've liked this video, leave me a thumbs up, drop me a comment down below. What was your thoughts on Total Recall if you've seen it, and what's the film that you're going to to be returning to the cinemas to see. Let me know down below. I love to get involved in the comments with folks and have some great discussions, and I've met some brilliant people. It's absolutely fantastic, so please do get involved in those comments below. If you've liked this video and you like videos talking about films, cinema trips, collecting physical media, DVDs, Blu-rays and 4Ks, and just a love of film in general, then please think about subscribing to my channel, because that's what I'm all about, and those are the videos that I like to bring you. And if you do subscribe, make sure you ring that notification bell, and then that way you're the first person to be notified whenever I do post a video. And above all else, as I always say folks, and I genuinely mean it, take care of yourselves, and we look forward to seeing you again real soon. Cheers for now.